Oh, I never did an intro video. Hey guys, it's Ona and Dr. Vicky. We're here for Mystic Sisters. Today is Saturday, February 8th, 2025. What a freaking week. It was unbelievable. Well, we've got a Cancer moon, of course. I took 2 naps today.
I've been very hungry all day. I said to Michael, he had to go to the store and pick up, I forget what he had to get. Something for his, he was making chicken marsala and he needed an ingredient. And I was like, I need chocolate.
Yeah, don't forget.
Don't forget the chocolate.
I knew he was making chicken because I woke up from one of those naps smelling sage. Like sage, I need to make something with sage. It's going on. And I'm like, am I like, did I dream it was a stuffed turkey or like what's going on? It was pervasive. So I did a little burn. And if you guys burn anything for protection or to erase negativity, that definitely popped up today.
Yeah, bitch.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I have Palo Santo. That's what I'm using right now.
I spray that on my pillow at night.
I love it.
Palo protects me.
Yeah.
Not kidding. I want to say hi to everybody. I saw Antoinette's granddaughter. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much. Teresa, Wendy. Hey, Wendy. Oh, good. We got a good moderator. So if we get dirty,
Wendy will take care of it.
You'll take care of it. Anna and Mystic Shining, welcome you guys. Tell us a little bit about your week, Sleuth, Deo, and how it went for you. And then we could go over some of the things that happened and if it's going to get more crazy next week and how to manage that.
This week began with Groundhog's Day. And Puxatani Phil, Puxatani pill. Puxatani, I need a Puxatani pill right now. 6 more weeks of winter, and we're waiting for a storm here in Massachusetts. So that should be fun.
We are hitting up our second ice storm of the week. Wednesday or Thursday, I think, was the first one. And then tonight, it's like snowing, rain. But when it hits the ground, it's icy. Even part of the lake, close to the shore, has got this sheet of ice that's kind of floating around.
Undulating ice sheets of ice.
I'm good.
I think hell froze over and they kept the door open. It has been brutal. It has been brutal. I use like so much oil this month because it's been like so cold.
Really? That surprised me. You got your roof fixed last year. You shouldn't be using that much. It should be better.
The house is like probably 200 years, so there's no way. I mean, we have old windows. It does, no matter how you try to how to wrap it up, it's and it's windy. That's really the killer is the windiness because it just gets into all the nooks and crannies, as it were.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, good. Wendy says she's saging. Thank you. It's an all-out snow event for us in New Hampshire, and about 9 inches is expected, but light and fluffy.
Well, it's not too bad. 9 inches is like a normal snowstorm. It's when we get like 3 and 4 feet at one time that it becomes an issue.
I think we dodged this or something. I think it went below us.
It went above you. I was looking at the thing. It was above. It went from Canada over to like upstate New York and then through New England. I don't think we're going to get so much here on the coast, but I know northern New England's probably going to get hit pretty good.
Well, this full moon is the snow moon.
Yes, I did read that actually. So as I always do, I picked a Mystic Sister card to start our Mystic Sister conversation. And tonight we have Lilith.
Ooh, wow.
Lilith. So let's see what Lilith says. Remember, this is the energy for the week ahead, guys. All right, guys and gals, I should say. Self-actualization and power. So, oh, I shouldn't do that. That's terrible, dance. Okay. The goddess Lilith represents determined feminine self-empowerment. If you need some feminine self-empowerment, just watch a little AOC and Jasmine Crockett. You get all riled up.
Oh my God, right?
All riled up. According to myth, Lilith was the first female created in the Garden of Eden. When the Creator discovered her to be dominant over her male counterpart, he was displeased and cast her out of Eden. Lilith returned in the form of the serpent who tempted Eve to eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge. Drawing this card is symbolic of the need to exercise personal power. There is no sin in embracing your own nature. This is not to say there will be no pushback or consequences, but you are still called to be what you will be. So be if not loud, certainly proud of who you are and your power. Because we
Where's Lilith in the chart right now?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me take a look. I'll go check. Did you hold on a second? Lilith is at 25 degrees of Libra.
Okay.
She's in conjunct Uranus. She's trine Mercury and the Sun. I just want to make sure I'm on the right day here. Yes. Okay. And what else? What else? That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
Okay. That trine to Uranus, or is it a sextile?
To Lilith?
Yeah.
It's an inconjunct.
An inconjunct. Okay.
So irritating. It's said that Lilith is where we feel our power has been sort of squashed in a way, and where we need to go to extremes. And in Libra, we need to go to extremes for fairness, perhaps. And she's actually been opposite Chiron. She's not quite. Chiron is at 19, almost 20. So I guess she's opposing Chiron as well. So that's Lilith in Libra, Chiron in Aries. That's sort of the male-female thing, the battle of the sexes, as it were.
Yeah.
Not that we want to have a battle of the sexes, but
interesting.
Yeah. All right. I have to find my way back. Oh, here I am. I'm back.
Since Donald Trump has defined only two genders, isn't that interesting? And signed a piece of paper.
An executive order, you're only allowed to have two genders. What about the people who have both? People are born that way. Actually biologically born that way, and genetically born that way. But hey.
I'm sorry, but the plastic surgery that literally transforms all the women he's ever married, that doesn't count, right? It's just the idea that you're limiting because of a very, very small population and you want to scare them. But what you allow in your personal life, alteration that's transforming, is okay. Right?
Well, with Chiron and Aries, it's the wound around the self and how you self-identify, right? Whose business? Yeah. If you want to call yourself a woman, or you want to call yourself a guy, or gender is fluid.
Yeah.
Maybe not physically, but our physical body isn't our only reality. We have an emotional body.
Oh my God, yeah.
Mental body, a spiritual body, an etheric body.
And get used to it, honestly, because if that bothers you, wait till the Pluto and Aquarius generation starts to emerge, and that'll be like nothing. Right?
Wendy says, Lilith, a primordial she demon. Yeah, well, she didn't want to lie beneath Adam, so they kicked her out and made her the mother of demons.
Yeah.
Because the Garden of Eden myth is a misogynistic story.
Yeah.
And it sort of started this whole disaster that we are in right now, in a way. So it's time for us to claim our power.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is getting sometimes more challenging.
Well, I mean, if you look at like who's pulling the strings, we'll call it that, right?
Yeah.
We have the felon sexual what is he as what's the definition? Abuser, I guess, right?
Offender.
Uh then we have the, you know, all those people that are working for him, that it's like if you don't have uh it's almost like if you want to be in his circle, you have to do that first. You have to abuse a woman first for that. And now we have the other guy and his little muskrats. Did you? I was listening to Sheldon Whitehouse today, and he actually called Elon Musk's little boys the muskrats, which I thought, because I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't that our term? Us readers.
Everything is so unbelievably like overwhelm of information that it is textbook shocking you into just saying, okay, I've had it and I don't care what you do. It's like when a toddler screams, mom, 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 and you're like, stop. Okay, here's a bowl of frosting. I don't even care.
Yeah,
And
that's a cure all the ills, right?
it's that same nerve they're trying to like pull on, right? So here you've got like these multifocal things that are happening in stories, and the colors I've noticed more, the colors of the headlines, or like the way the font is, how big it is just inciting you, inviting you to feed into this thing that they were throwing at you and throwing it. It's chaos. It's a chaos administration. We already know that. So
Yeah,
this is how
and
they play.
you know, a lot of the stuff they're doing is not it. They're doing it, and then they're making the what's happening after that big, when in fact, like some of the things they're doing, the results are normal, almost like normal results, like this whole buyout thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people, the people who took it were retiring. They were the people who, you know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, right. So it was, I think it was like the normal you know, over at this point anyway. Of course, it could change or get much worse, but
Yeah.
and then, you know, everybody's like, it's like I think we have to try not to panic at everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Pick one thing to panic about. Pick one story to panic about and follow that lead
If you need to.
if you need to. But the multiple ones are just to weaken you. They're just to weaken you. So we can pull cards on all the different shit that's going to come up next week and definitely connected to, isn't it this time when his Mars is square Saturn? Transiting Mars is squaring Saturn?
It's trine Saturn.
It's trine Saturn?
Right. So that sort of brings structure to the energy.
No.
But the energy is in Cancer, right? Retrograde. So and now the Mars is going to go direct on the 23rd. And from now to the 23rd, it's pretty much sitting at like 17 and 18 degrees of Cancer. If you have 7 or 18 degrees of anything in your chart, So it's like the energy right now is seething. It's like just seething, and it's
Yeah.
emotional because it's cancer, and people are not feeling safe. People, and of course, why would they? We've had 3 plane disasters, 1 train blew went up in flames. Um, I mean, and the Santorini 300 plus it really does feel like the end of the world. I mean, honestly,
Yes.
right? I mean, everything seems to be happening all at once. Now, it's possible that those things happened before all at once. We just weren't connected enough to know
Right.
the pattern. So
Right.
there's that. But
Yes, there's the fear of flying. There's the fear of getting on a train. These micro fears are designed to gently chip away at you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Antoinette's granddaughter says, "What scares me is Elon is in the U.S. Treasury." I believe that has come to a halt. Is that right?
I think they can't do anything to change it, but they can still read it.
Okay.
It still can they can still do a read only.
There's
Which I'm
oversights.
sure that's not what they're looking for. They're not looking to read. I'm sure they've already put stuff in there. I'm
Yeah.
sure, there's,
I'm sure they're building a database for something, but they at least they're not being blocked from access, right?
no, they tried to get in. They tried to get in this Department of Education. It was closed. You
Yeah.
couldn't get in there. You couldn't get in a USAID. You couldn't get in the Treasury. They won't let anybody in the buildings.
Yeah.
I guess except for the people that work there, maybe, but no representatives.
Yeah.
And they're really like, I watched the Progressive Caucus talk. I watched, all the Democrats, of course. I watched the Women's Caucus. That was a good one to see. And, it's good because we can see that there are people working for us and working for our benefit. We don't generally see it because government is kind of boring, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who thought government would be so exciting? I
Yeah.
guess Trump can bring excitement into any situation.
And those stories are not the ones that are, you have to look for those.
Oh yeah. Those are,
Right? They're not the ones that pop up in your feed. It's everything that it boils down to local news when it's so bad that everybody's got to be afraid of what I just read, your Social Security, your tax refund, and things like that, worrying at.
I don't think there'll be a problem with getting Social Security checks. That would be insane if they really did something like that. People would just, there's no way people would stand for that. So they're not going to go that far, but I think they're going to just create problems. I think
Yeah.
they're creating problems.
Yeah. And
Um,
as granddaughter said, her sister got her check. It will happen. I think the point is that they want you to be afraid that you're not going to. So when you're afraid, you react. Right?
right. Well, you can either like take to the street or you can just become overwhelmed. And that's really what it's flooding the zone. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And so I think probably the best thing to do is just to step back from it, let the law do what the law does, because a lot
Yeah.
of these things that he's saying and writing and signing, there are things that unfortunately are going to go by the wayside. But I don't think it's going to be Social Security. I know they want to get rid of Medicaid, but what are all these elderly people in nursing homes going to do? It's not just, people who are too poor to have a health insurance.
Yeah. No, they can't. They can't get rid of Medicaid because if you are uninsured, You use the emergency room as your doctor's office, and you never get denied care in any emergency room. So that's going to be the thing. There's just going to be this great loss in healthcare because that's where you get treated. They can't Medicaid is, I mean, that would be that's like pulling the pin, really.
Well, I mean, well,
Did RFK Jr. get any further than saying something dumber than he did the last time he spoke? I saw some kind of credit card debt that was overwhelming. I'm sure he's waiting for that to get paid off.
I don't know. I heard that he got through this Senate committee, but I don't think he got the full Senate.
Okay.
And I did do a reading on him, and the second card was the Ten of Swords.
Okay.
I was under the impression that he had passed all the tests, but I guess maybe he hadn't. So in that case, he may not get it.
Yeah.
He may not get it. But if he gets it, the card said it's not going to be as terrible as we think it is. That's what the card said. Now, that's today.
Yeah.
That's today.
Right. And there are too many things that are already in process, in place. Right. So if he has, let's say, stock in, Pfizer, I wouldn't worry about there not being vaccines available anymore. I'm sure there will be.
Right. I feel like, because I watched his thing, and I found them to be very aggressive towards him and not very respectful of him and very angry at him. And I think part of the anger is because of who he is. And I think, Democrats feel like he stabbed his father's legacy.
Yeah.
His father's legacy. I think that's what a lot of people are upset about, along with, the fact that, he's an anti-vaxxer and this, that, and the other thing. But, I think there's too many vaccines, honestly, myself. But I don't have children. I never had to make the decision.
Yeah. I think that the later vaccine, the things for like what the cervical cancer, like yeah,
I don't
so much, but the things that are popping up right now are like measles, and it's super measles. It's not regular measles, because the kids that aren't vaccinated are creating a new strain.
Well, and then the other thing is, because of climate change, we're getting exposed to things that probably haven't been in the atmosphere for like 500,000 years. This is not the time to stop the research on novel viruses. It's just not the time. And we have our technology is advanced now. So it's not so much a shot in the dark as it used to be.
Yeah.
But, and we don't remember, like, COVID was like one of the first things in a long time that came and wiped so many people out, as opposed to things like smallpox and malaria, although that's different. Malaria, I know, is not a virus, but is malaria a virus? Or is
I don't know.
Is it a protozoa, malaria? I forget. I used to know this stuff. It's been a long, long time.
Yeah, I don't know, honestly. And there's things that are important, like viral meningitis. You don't want to get that. Worse than that, bacterial. But think about those types of things that can be prevented, and if they're not prevented, they will up their game and strain. But I think to eliminate that is creating more fear. I think, and the point is to isolate you, is to make you be afraid of leaving your house and, spending money online, or, it's all that kind of thing to make you anxious, so anxious that you lose your shit.
I'm reading here. Now who said it? I heard Felon 47 is taking over the Kennedy Center.
Really?
He put himself in charge of the Kennedy Center.
You
But
know,
we gotta have instead of like music and art and opera, and we're gonna have, what is it, WWF at the Kennedy Center now? Is that what's gonna happen?
I gotta say, the second this bitch starts carving out Mount Rushmore with his freaking mug on it, I will go down there. I will drive a tractor down there and hurt it.
Well, it's interesting because the natives, it was a sacred mountain for the natives, and they felt as though putting the heads of the presidents on there was sacrilege.
Yeah.
And so now if Dump's face gets on there, we'll feel it's sacrilege. I almost feel like a lot of this is for us to walk in other people's moccasins, the stuff that we've done, for us to feel it and realize what the hell we're doing. Because I think, we sort of go along unconsciously, but we also have to work pretty hard just to keep food on the table and a roof over our heads. So it's not like people want to be assholes. It's that they don't have time to really pay attention in a way to what's going on half the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wendy asked earlier what, February 23rd is when Mars goes direct, what kind of a weird day it's going to be, or sort of like what do we have to look forward to or not?
Well, I feel like it's going to be, we keep talking about the wave, right? We had the red wave and the black wave and the blue wave and the purple wave. I think it's tidal, right? It's Cancer. It's like how right before the big tsunami comes, everything gets sucked out into the ocean.
Yes.
And then it starts to go forward.
Yes.
Right. And there's a lot of stuff happening in March. A lot of things happening in March. I was just getting ready for my March stuff, and we have Venus going retrograde in Aries, and she goes into Pisces during the month. We have Mercury go retrograde in Aries and then goes back into Pisces. We have Neptune on the last day of March move into Aries for the first time in 165 years.
Yeah. So February is going to look like January.
Well, February is it, believe it or not, it's a little bit of a respite, which sounds ridiculous to me, but I feel like it's like we don't really, there's a lot of things happening. We have to sort of get our center through it. That's why I think the soul work is so important. Like the self-care is so important right now, because you remember how we felt after the election. We felt like we were dead, right? Like I have no F's to give.
Yeah.
We felt like we got dumped on our head, and then we had all this expectation that the Democrats were actually going to take the power. They didn't take the power. They never take the power. And we're like, shh.
Yeah.
And then we're like, I'm done. And then this happens. Now people are up. Now people are like, the thing is I think we have to realize that the only people who are going to get us out of this mess is us.
Yeah.
We have to find the commonality of us and move it forward, because and allow the people who are the bulwark. Yeah, I can't say that word. The justice, or that, like that. We'll see. Because I don't know. I'm concerned about the DOJ. I'm concerned about Bondi. I did her numbers. She has a 1 soul.
Yeah. I don't like her. I might do a thing on her. I think the best thing you can do is just recognize your reaction. The only thing you have control over is how you react. And you could bottle it up. I'm really good at that.
They said that people were calling in their representatives. Normally there'd be like 40 calls a day. There were like 1,400.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's been protests. Durban's got a place down here. There's every day. It's like, which one am I walking into? And am I safe here right now? It's constant. The 505 or 50501, they had a big thing downtown, but it wasn't on the news until it was over. They didn't advertise it.
And they nothing. I've been looking, and I heard Lena. Yeah. I heard Lena Rodriguez say that that from Australia they're getting all the news. We're not seeing what they're seeing, but the world is seeing us stand up and be counted. But that's not being shown back to us, making us feel more isolated and that we're really not together. But
yeah.
But that is a lie. People are coming together. People are coming together.
I knew, like, when I said there has to be something going on down here, I knew that if I jumped on a bus and went south, I would find some kind of protest somewhere on that day. I don't know if it was one of those days that was like really icy or something, and I had like a bunch of errands to run and just found out about it later, but it was not advertised. It was not covered really well. It was a short piece on the news, and I'm like, oh, interesting.
I think there's going to be a whole lot of more spontaneous stuff, which in a way is okay, because maybe it's better that they don't know what's going to happen until it happens. You know what I mean? That might be safer.
I'm going to fold up this last piece of cheese here. And then we had, what's his name, from Israel here at the synagogue, and there were protests out there. He was Gallant, I think was the last name. Like at night, and there's like helicopters and like all this stuff going on. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's constant. The people are moving constantly for what they believe is a threat. And every day there's a different threat. Right? I should watch. I saw Sleuth. Jill said I do watch BBC and other world news for some truth. BBC and PBS.
Al Jazeera is also another good news station, and of course, Democracy Now! Is usually, if I want to know what's going on, I go to Democracy Now! first. Jamie says the Senate majority is held by the Republicans. Every Democrat can vote no, and the unqualified people can still get in. I know. So, but we still have to have our voice heard. We can't just say, well, it's that's just the way it's going to be. So they need to be held accountable for their votes.
Yeah. They will be. It's so hard to wait for the accountability to occur. It's like, we'll see. That this is just bad karma. Like, that the table has to turn. It can't go in a good direction. And it's just the timing of it. It's awful. Mary said she called Governor Pritzker's office to thank him for having the biggest balls to stand up to Donald. I really like Pritzker. I know he's a jerk, or he's like rich politician kind of thing, but he's done some good things for Illinois, and he's not in jail, so like the other governors. So it's good.
Delphian says, are they nationalizing the Gerber diaper factory due to the shortage in DC and Mar-a-Lago and the impact on the presidency?
Yes, and they're going to be more expensive because there's tariffs on your diapers now. Done. Going to be washable. Oh, you know what? Someday we'll just be thinking about how chaotic it was at this time, and it will be over.
Yep.
I just know that, and maybe that's the thing that I created to hang on to is I just know it's going to be okay. Believe me. I just don't know how we're going to get there. I have no clue.
I don't think we're supposed to know how we get there. I think if, I really, and I say this not as somebody who's just wants to give up and say, well, what the hell? It's there's nothing I can do. That's not really it. The energy, the astrology, the intuition about it is that we just need to do what we can and then let the rest go, because that has to be enough for each and every one of us. And if people are just doing what they can, we're going to direct the flow. Like if things are moving, but we have the power to co-create with the energy that's being expressed as everything is breaking down.
Antoinette's granddaughter says, "This too shall pass." That doesn't help me right now. I get it.
Yeah, so the kidney stone.
Like,
they pass too, but that ain't fun either. It's like America's like passing their kidney stones right now.
I wanted to see that this earthquake. Oh, that was the moon entered Taurus. These earthquakes, when I started writing it down, because I do remember on past Pam Gregory videos about things coming from the earth, and I was wondering how Uranus's sort of impact is making this like just roll over and roll over, and if there's actually something that's going to come up from that little belt in there. Land.
Well,
I wonder.
I mean, there's new land coming up in Hawaii. There's, it's a very active time. We had 3 earthquakes in Maine.
I know. Mary said there was an earthquake in the Cayman Islands today. I did not know that. It's honestly, yeah. It's been crazy. And it's hopefully next week will be a little bit less major arcana. It'll taper off a little bit. Holy cow. I got to tell you, I don't know how this is going to occur, but been through worse. 8.0 in the Caymans? That's really bad. Greece is at a state of emergency. It is one natural disaster after another. Isn't that hard enough to focus on? Then all the other stuff on top of it is just a lot. This has been a real rough Pluto in Aquarius launch.
They're talking about the Kennedy Center. Kid Rock, Chachi, and Ted Nugent will be the. They'll probably get the awards, right? Oh my God.
Oh my God. You know what? These are those little teaser things that you're like, okay, here's another thing. Just keep throwing darts and see what happens. I've never been to the Cayman Islands, but I imagine that in February there are a lot of tourists there right now.
Yeah. Isn't that where all the rich people put their money? The Cayman Islands? Isn't that one of the places?
I'm not one of those
obviously, people. Obviously, I don't know because I don't have that kind of money. I mean, I'm just glad when I see it in my checking account. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh wait, let's see how much money I'm making in the Caymans.
Yeah, no, not going there. I did offer, and I do have, my aunt died the end of January 21st. So I told my cousin, I said, you know what? In 5 years, when I'm 65 and you're 60, let's go to Italy. Let's just go. Giblets, he's going to be 11 this year, and she has an older dog too. I think he's 10 or 12. I can't remember. So I'm like, if our dogs are gone, let's go.
Yeah. Go to Sicily. Go to Etna. Go see Etna.
Wow.
While Sicily is still there, I guess. Yeah. Go see Etna.
I could bring my mom's ashes too.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So I said that I want to do that. That would be really cool, right? So
put a few ashes back into the Etna pot, right?
She used to tell me about, like, that was how they knew. They sort of took the temperature of the day, like when the mountain was angry or when the mountain was calm, like you knew, just like if you live in a place and you see ash coming down from the sky, there's a fire somewhere. Like that was how you sort of measured how the animals were reacting. Everything was Mount Etna. So yeah, I'll go there. Not all the way up.
Well, sometimes you can't get up there. I mean, that you can only go if it's not blowing up. You know what I mean?
When I get there, I'm sure it will.
Yeah. When I went the first time, it erupted. That was 1978.
Wow.
And it was the same time that the John Paul I was put in.
Yes.
And then he passed away. He was murdered, actually, I think, quite frankly.
That was a freaky thing.
Yeah, because he was real liberal. And then they put the other guy in, John Paul II, who was not liberal at all. They put the kibosh on that pretty quick. But then they couldn't do anything about Francis because he was,
John Paul II was so well loved, though, and he came here. He came to Chicago. Oh my God! Oh,
yeah, he was at Yankee Stadium back in the day. Yeah, I remember. It was a big deal. I think I was in college at that time,
but everybody really, really liked him. I didn't have a lot invested into the Pope kind of thing. I didn't like the priests. So that kind of set the tone for the hierarchy. I just, ugh. Yes, it was a big deal. Traveling with the angels is what he called it. TWA flight. Yeah, he was a good guy. I don't know. And this one, I have not even any vested interest in it at all. Do I have orbs behind me? Maybe I do. I might.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's probably your mom and your auntie.
Yeah, my mom's ashes are back there by the window too, so she could see the sun come up every day. And the plants are, I just fertilized them today, so they're
all jazzed up. They're high.
They're growing so fast. I'm almost like, I don't know what to do with, Yes, I have Cannoli's little shrine up here. I have pearls over there. I have like altars everywhere. And I did do a sage thing because I had a rough week. Oh my God. I gotta say, I have to, this just keeps coming to the forefront of my head because I'm I think contracted by some cosmic law to talk about this now. Is I had a patient who was a soldier in Israel. on Thursday, and half his head was blown off. It was just concave on one side, and the other side of his body was compromised. And his scars were painful. He got hit by a blast. And he's 22.
Yeah.
There's been a handful of times I've teared up. This was one of them. And it doesn't matter who you're fighting for. You're fighting for somebody else. Somebody else's greed. Right? It doesn't matter what side. It should not be like that. It shouldn't be. We hear all these stories, but man, sitting across this kid, that changed it.
Yeah.
It changed all those stories.
Real life consequences of things that seem far away can come pretty close. Can come pretty close.
It changed all the stories I watch. He'll be okay, but just okay. I don't even know. We'll see. I think sometimes I need to experience those things to put my own shit into perspective.
Yes. Yes.
And it definitely did it.
Yeah, I was having the conversation today with my husband, and I said, Michael, I said, I feel so lucky and so grateful for the life that I've had. And, it hasn't been easy. There've been challenges. There's been pain. There's been, heartache. But boy, when you realize how it could be different, and it's just, I know it's not really the luck of the draw because we choose our lifetimes, and there are lifetimes where they're just shit, and then we die and we come back and we get a little respite from the shit. But
I do think that with the patients, I'm like, how did you contract this in your lifetime? These strokes when they're young, and it's just, I just don't understand it sometimes. It takes me some time to figure out why these things happen.
Right. Well, whether we ever could figure that out, I think that the moral of the story is be grateful for what you have. I know
Yes, please.
When I was at my most, I want to say, in my estimation, when things were just like not going my way at all, I would just wake up in the morning and start counting my blessings. And sometimes it was just, oh, I woke up this morning. Great. Yeah. And obviously you have had that experience as well.
Yeah.
Because you've had a life-threatening disease that you had to overcome.
Yeah. And it was like that. It was pretty much like, okay, put your feet on the ground, like get up, get out of bed, and telling yourself, okay, I'm going to walk to the bathroom and brush my teeth. All right, that was 5 minutes. And then the next 5 minutes is like trying to get down the stairs and make something. Your everything is like restructured. And some days are like that when you're like, you wake up and you get to see the sun. You're like, good morning. Don't be a dick today, okay? That's what I tell the sun in the morning. Like, don't be a dick today. Stay out for a while too,
So I thought maybe we could talk a little bit about, do you want to talk about the week that was, the week that is ahead? Where do you want to go?
Do you think the week ahead is going to be, I'll pull a card with the doggo tomorrow for what I need to focus on. And this week was the fox, like staying on your feet, like heightening your senses, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Week ahead.
So,
oh, let's do the Super Bowl. You want to do cards on the Super Bowl?
okay.
And then there's the Puppy Bowl too. Team Fluff and Team Rough.
Oh, Rough's gonna win. Rough always wins.
I want to watch
doggy football, don't you know? All right. I'll pick, so I'm gonna pick. How are you gonna do it? One card and one card?
I would say so. That's the Eagles would be a bird, and a bird would be an air sign, or an actual bird if there's a bird on the card. And the Chiefs
would be maybe a king or something.
King,
I'm gonna put one card on each. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, fire. Maybe also you can assign for the Chiefs.
Ooh, I don't know if I'll be able to know.
Chiblets, who's going to win the Super Bowl tomorrow?
Is that tomorrow?
Yes.
Wow.
The best time to grocery shop, people.
If there's any, but don't try to get all the snacks are gone. They've all been. Well, and plus here we're having a storm, so no bread, no eggs, no snacks left.
There'll be plenty of snacks, and you can make bread. There's plenty of YouTube videos on how to make very, very easy bread. I'm going to pull one card and see. Oh, we got some Eagles people. We got some Chiefs. Giblets.
Okay, I think I have what'd you get?
Page of Swords, Eagles.
Okay.
Bird, air.
You think? All right, so I'm gonna disagree.
Okay, good.
See, this is good because at least one of us will be right. So see, the Mystic Sisters knew who was going to win the Super Bowl. So for the Chiefs, I got the 9 of Cups.
Ooh, look at that.
The Devil.
Greedy Devil. Ooh, they're crying. They're crying into the Devil.
And the Magician. And for the Eagles, I got the Ace of Swords. They're dirty, those guys, the Eagles. Sorry, Eagle fans.
Vicky, that's a victory card, and that's an air sign.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Not done yet. The Knight of Pentacles, and then the Hermit. So it was really the Hermit and the Magician that made me decide that it's going to be the Chiefs. Now, I will give you this caveat. One of my favorite cousins is a huge, huge, huge Chiefs fan. So, of course, I am going to be. And, of course, the Eagle fans hate the
they don't like them.
They hate the New England team. So,
well, this would be the Chiefs' 3rd year in a row. So they've got this little sort of energetic vortex advantage, right?
I just saw, what do you call, an orb on you.
Oh, really? Well, hello.
I saw something flying. There was something flying in there.
That's really nice. But I think it's pointing to the Eagles. We'll see. I don't know. This will be fun. This I might track while the Super Bowl's on just because, I watched the last 15 minutes, which is like an hour and a half.
So next week, we'll see who was right.
Okay. That sounds good. And for the Puppy Bowl, you want to do the Puppy Bowl?
Yes.
Rough or Team Fluff?
Rough or Fluff. I need to use different cards for them. I don't want to use the top deck for the puppy. Oh, I know. I'll use Guardian of the Night.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, you got that out. Yeah, mine's packed away right now. I gotta.
Everything's out. I I don't know how I function on my desk here. I have piles and piles of stuff. It's like my brain. My desk looks a little like my brain these days.
I know
Like it's all there, but it's not quite organized.
Yeah. Like you could reach in and find it, but nobody else can. If you're looking for something specific, you could just.
I used to be able to do that. I have lost the ability to do that, but I still think I'm okay. Rough and fluff. Rough, the 9 of Pentacles, and fluff, the 2 of Cups. So rough is going to have the ball, and the 2 cups are going to be canoodling in the corner, like not even. Okay, so I got the roughs. What did you get?
I got for Team Rough the Hangman.
Oh no!
And for Team Fluff, Justice.
Oh no! Looks like Fluff is going to win.
Fluff is going to win, and well, they might be a little bossy about it.
So you're picking the Eagles and Fluff, and I'm picking the Chiefs and Rough.
Okay.
All right, we've solved all the problems.
So there's your questions answered. It's still a 50-50, right?
Yeah, still.
It's still a 50-50. We'll
do you wanna pull cards on anything political?
We could.
If we're still 50-50?
You could. Yeah. Somebody got a question?
Okay, anybody have a question? Anybody have a question?
Honestly, with this dog,
I have a little bit of a question. How the hell are we going to move through this? That's my question.
Oh, you know what? How about that?
What?
What do I need to know right now?
For the week ahead?
Yeah.
I like that.
What do I need to know right now?
That's like one of my favorite questions to ask.
Oh, Alexandra said Violetta predicted that, Trump is supposed to be at the Super Bowl and he's going to be booed and people are going to throw tomatoes at him, I guess. Violetta predicted.
They're not going to throw eggs because eggs are too expensive.
We're not going to see any of that. It's going to happen, but they might not cover it. And if they cover it, they might not air it.
Yeah, but there'll be plenty of people in the stands that will put it up. That's the problem. The media can hide it, but everybody has a camera on their phone now.
Yes, this is true.
So what's the question? What was the question?
The question.
What do we need to know this week? Okay.
Yeah, a card on what do I need to know for next week?
Just one card, huh? Ugh, I'm so nervous.
Sometimes, yeah. Because more than one is overwhelming right now. And I'm not kidding. Like sometimes. Man.
I'll wait to see what card you pick.
3 of Air.
Heartbreak. Oh, God. And I got the Empress.
Okay.
This is a Venus card.
There are 3. You got a number 3. I got a number 3.
So 3 and 3. So 3 things are going to happen this week.
Oh my gosh. Is there anything? Monday is a 21/3 or the World card. The moon enters Leo. And then the only other time I see a 3 is like Wednesday. The full moon is a 23/5. Oh my gosh. You know what?
The full moon, isn't the full moon, is it square Uranus? What is that? I can't see.
The next card that came off that was on the top of the deck is the 3 of Earth. Another 3. So maybe angel number 333 would be the best thing to think about there. Because I hate leaving it on like the 3 of Swords stabbing the Empress. Like it's just like,
Well,
and
that might be three big things this week, right? Might be 3 big things this week. Okay, let's pick another. Hmm.
What are you picking a card? What are you picking cards on?
I'm just pulling cards for the week. I think I got the 4 of Swords next to the Knight of Cups. This I did a reading and I got that 4 of Swords and it felt to me like a funeral, actually.
Yeah, a surprise ending, a surprise passing.
Maybe. And I think it feels male to me. And yeah, surprise, like young. The person is young. We're gonna feel burdened, but we have to remember what's important to us, what our values are. We know what's important, and we have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But it's going to be just a more flooding the zone with shit is really, I think, what the week, what to look forward to. But I think we have to come up with some good ways to deal with this. So, do you have any ideas on?
I think a card game called Chaos and Shit. So, and every phrase in there will make you laugh. So, or you have to put them together because I think that in every situation I've been in where I'm like, I can't even deal with this anymore. I have to find something to laugh about to pull me out of that place. So I will look at YouTube like just SNL, Saturday Night Live stuff, or Stephen Colbert, or something that, and get myself to laugh.
Did everybody see that orb that just flew past Ona? Did everybody see that? It was enormous.
Maybe it was something in my hair.
No, it went like this, like right across.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's like, that has saved me. Just laughing about something that,
My mom used to say, if you're not laughing, you're crying. You might as well be laughing.
And really think about the big picture of this is some kind of holographic glitch in the cosmos, knowing how tiny we are in this whole thing, that sometimes you worry about stuff that's never going to happen.
I honestly think things probably aren't going to calm down a little, at least until May.
Okay.
Then things are going to start to stabilize a little bit. But the hardest part of this year, I think, is January, February, March, and April.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay. With that being said, I hope you guys got at least a little giggle and sort of help sort out how the week went and how next week is going to go, and things to focus on. And Vicki, if I don't hear you every single morning, I feel like I can't really launch my day, even though I know, or I could find out about all these aspects that are happening. The way you put it together makes the most sense to me. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And a lot of times I don't know what I'm going to say. And sometimes I write everything down on my hand, or I put it in on a little piece of paper, and as soon as I get outside I drop it,
Yeah.
and it falls in a puddle, and then I can't read it. So you know, lots of times I think it's my God's giving, you know,
Yeah.
just downloading, and it helps to be out in nature. For me, any time spent in nature
Yeah.
it just like I go from to
Yeah. And it's honestly, it's just like how I said, my mom, you tell the temperature of the day by looking at the mountain or being out there. The videos are different when you're walking and talking in the garden than when you're inside at home.
yes.
You know, there's a different energy. So you are taking the temperature of the day just by walking through the garden like that in the morning.
Now I felt a shift today when I woke up. The day before, it was I woke up in a terrible mood, and this morning felt different. So I do feel like that things are shifting and changing, and that, you know, people are like saying, all right, let's get it together, folks, and let's move forward. And I
Yeah.
think that's going to be a good thing. And I just want everybody to know, who joins us on these evenings, that it means the world to us. We love you guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get a little chuckle out of us, or a little information that's going to be helpful for your day. But I don't know what I would do without this and without you, Ona. So thank you very much for being my mystic sister. Woo-hoo.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you guys next week. Tomorrow morning with giblets. Maybe we'll do another little puppy bowl thing or something. We'll see how he's feeling. And we'll see you soon.
Go Chiefs.